Why is it that so many big production movies are still shot on film? It certainly isn't cheaper nor easier. In fact, it's the look. A certain look that digital cameras can't yet create. But there's a solution to give digital cameras the look of film. Hey guys, it's Jordy here for Cinecom.net. I once shot a short film on 60mm. It was a great experience, many things went wrong as well, but the image that came out of that after the emulsion was something extraordinary. An image that my brand new Canon 5D Mark II at the time couldn't create. Now, I was very fortunate to call up Shane Hurlbut. He's a great cinematographer who shot many features on film and still does that today.
I'm Shane Hurlbut. I'm an ASC cinematographer, also a Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science member, and a member of the Directors Guild of America.
Shane started out shooting a lot of video clips for bands like the Rolling Stones, Smashing Pumpkins, and Nirvana. Now, later he also made tons of feature films such as Active Valor, Need for Speed, and such. And having so much experience with film, I asked him what makes that look so unique.
I think what makes film look so unique and so much not like digital is what I call the gauze effect. Film has a texture to it that digital still does not have. All my films that I have shot digitally, I have added that texture back in it to be able to give it that gauze. You know, add the grain to the image, add that texture and that gauze. And I think that's what's so wonderful about film. It's photochemical, it's organic, right? It's something that's not a chip based with pixels catching light. It's an emulsion that when light comes down the barrel of the lens, it exposes it, and it just has a very unique look and feel.
So like Shane explains, adding the film texture to digital video helps to give it that organic look. Now, our very beloved sponsor Rocket Stock has such film stocks. Their product is called Emulsion and consists out of a wide range of 4K clips rendered in ProRes quality. Now, these are all stock films that were shot on real film using high-end studio cameras. You can follow the first link in the description below to find out more. Now, Shane also explained to me how he would match digital video coming from something like a Canon 5D II to real film. First, he would use older lenses that are a little softer to take off that edge. Older lenses from Hollywood are still pretty expensive, such as the Cooke series, but there's also a cheaper solution for us DSLR filmmakers. Now, we've written out more about these older lenses in our blog. There's again a link in the description below to that article. Next, you want to add the sharpness back in post. Important is that your digital sharpness in your camera is also turned off. You want to get an as clean as possible image from your camera. I'm in the neutral picture style and have turned down everything, especially the sharpness. If you want to learn more about these picture styles, there's again a link in the description below. The best results are achieved with the Effect Unsharp Mask, and this can be found in any program, whether you use After Effects, Photoshop, or Premiere. What this effect allows you to do is specify where the sharpness has to be added. We have the amount control, which adds more sharpness. The radius is going to alter the contrast white of your sharpness, and the threshold tells you which parts exactly have to be sharpened. In this shot, I want to make sure that only the subject is sharpened, which means Kim in this case. If you would sharpen the background as well, it will only increase the digital noise. The background is nicely out of focus, so leave it that way. The next step is the color grading, and I'm again referring to a great tutorial that we have that covers everything about the basics of color grading. Link is again down below. Now, we can add the film stock onto the clip, but before we do so, Shane gave a great tip on how to handle that.
If I was doing night exteriors, I hit it with heavier grain. When I was doing day exteriors, I hit it with lighter grain, just like it would be if I was doing a feature film, shooting on 50 ASA stock. During the day, it's going to be very clean, and then if I go to 500 ASA stock at night, it's going to have a little more grain texture. So on Need for Speed and Active Valor, we were balancing these the whole time. making it cleaner in the day, making it more grainy at night. And Active Valor had a film component to it as well, because I shot about 25 to 30% on 35 millimeter, and it really created this, I don't know whether this is film or 5D, and that was the magic.
In the Rocket Stock emulsion pack, we can find different types of grain for 8, 16 and 35 millimeter film. And you want to use the more fine grain for daylight shots and the coarse grain for darker scenes. There are different types of grain, so you can try them out to fit your style. Just lay the grain on top of your clip and from the opacity select your desired blend mode. I found 2 blend modes that worked very well. Typically you want to choose overlay. It works for most shots, definitely for the more low light scenes. It's more subtle and it won't touch that much in the highlights. You can dial into the opacity as well if you think the grain is too present. Now, when there are many highlights that are blown out, I would tend to choose multiply. This takes the grain more present in the highlights and somehow connects the overexposed areas back to the rest of the shot. Now, this blending mode works very aggressively and alters the exposure a lot. Your overexposed areas are now very smushy and gray, so what I'll do is increase the exposure of the grain to compensate for that. And now I find the typical overexposure from digital cameras to be more filmic. I want to thank Shane Hurlbut for the very inspiring chat I had with him. He also has an educational platform where he shares all his great knowledge and experience. You can find a link to his website in the description as well. Make sure to visit our blog, as you can download the demo clips that we used and one sample grain to practice with. For the full versions of these film grains, please follow the link in the description below. If you like this video, please thumbs up, it means a lot to us, and don't forget to subscribe to see us multiple times a week. Thank you so much for watching, and stay creative.